Okay, the record is starting now. Okay, I think that in this call we should discuss the next step quickly. Next step. So, last 2 points of the agenda. I think it was the first step for our in the next days or in this weekend. So I don't know if it's possible in this weekend because we are working more. We are speaking more, but between us and not with the community. So I think that is the moment to share our ideas, our position with the community. During the week, we have done this with a single people or in a single chat, but not as a team. This is my personal idea.
May I add some, guys? Sorry for interfering.
Go on.
But I think it can be really useful. Yeah, I definitely agree that we need step up and introduce ourselves at least, because most of the community don't know us, because program was pretty closed and not show ambassadors and their contributions. And I think one of the key points that we need to do is to move the discussions from the private channels to some public place, and this place need to be the one which are present now. So we don't need to do anything hard and long. And I think such a place that we can post our long-term contributions and introduce ourselves is the forum. It's operated by community, and it's here for a long term. So it will be pretty pretty smart to start with the forum, and then we can figure out the hub or other more convenient way to do it. But this first introduction and summary of our contributions to the ecosystem, we can all introduce like in posts on this forum. That's the first thing I want to suggest for all of us, because there are people are already preparing their introductions, but posting there in different places. It make no sense, because people need to go at one place, see all the ambassadors' introduction briefly, so nobody will read it, I think, even, but they will see that there are really big contributors. There are a lot of people who are in charge of different kind of activities, and I think it will be good for all of us. What do you think?
Yeah, I think doing it on the forums is a good move, but we should focus on creating our own profile somewhere. So I think all the head ambassadors, or actually all the ambassadors, should create this profile. We need a good place for this, and from the start, let's say when a new ambassador wants to join the system, then they will always update this profile, say, okay, I have done this and organized that and this meetup and got someone new into the Polkadot or contacted a new government or company, whatever. So they can stack the contributions, and also for head ambassadors, for us, it will be easier to review this if we have this at the same place. I think it's a good way to do it now on the forum, because we show ourselves to the community, but we need to really think about like how and where do we create these profiles. Maybe the best way would be to have a website for the Polkadot Ambassador program. I think we really need to have this. It's really missing, because on the website we can put all the information and everything we do publicly, all the calls, all the intros, everything. And the website could be also connected to the on-chain identity. So in the on-chain identity, of course, we can have our basic information, a name and matrix and Telegram, whatever, but we could also link it to a profile page where we list what we are doing and what our skills, what people can ask from us, what we can help with, and so on.
But can we agree to start with the forum? Because this even Notion page, to make it, it's like a week or two, but we need to act right now, because these guys from other side, they are pretty active, and we need to be more faster.
I think, sorry, Zoe, it's your turn, sorry.
Go ahead. If you want to add, you can go after Diego. Okay. I think it's very important that we are public, Alex. I think that's a great idea. We can write it in the forum, right, and then distribute this link, whatever channel we choose. But before we do, or we can do this anyway, right, independent from anything else. But I wanted to challenge again this question where most of us have voted, or only 58%, that head ambassador should be voted on by Open Government. And I just want to maybe better understand everyone's position on this. I stated my view on this yesterday in the chat, and I'm a bit surprised that, I mean, again, I'm okay to do this because I think that the community, when we also show what we have done, will vote us. So I'm not worried about this, but I feel like we are letting other people now dictate how we should run the program, right? It's different from getting efficient feedback. And since we are really the core ambassador team, we should take on this collective instead of letting anyone else now select who will run the collective. So it's a very personal opinion and very also emotional to say, hey, I think we are actually the best group to kickstart it. And then afterwards, we can always have OpenGov voting on the next round of ambassadors or someone else. But if we now get OpenGov, everyone vote on things, they don't understand where we are coming from. They don't understand the whole journey, what everything has happened and so on. And that's why I really vote for us getting what Rolena also mentioned last week, to convince other big whales to get us in the collective and then include OpenGov. This is really a point I would like to discuss further. If everyone here agrees to go through OpenGov by head ambassador votes, I'm fine with this, because again, I'm confident that we will be selected. But I would like to move it to do this as a political standpoint also, that we not now, because no one leads it, we should lead it. Instead, let us leading from other people. This is my opinion on this.
Six, is your turn now.
Yeah, there were a lot of discussions about this, and I listened to many people, many opinions about the whole thing. I think there are two ways to see this. One way is to see this is, we get a lot of feedback now. We see many people talking about the ambassador program, what they are looking for. So they also, in some ways, maybe not in the most beautiful ways, but they express their needs and what they are looking for. And in the end, as ambassadors, we are here to help the Polkadot ecosystem and the program. So I think it's a little bit two-sided. So on one side, we want to support the need of the ecosystem and to help nurturing Polkadot. And on the other side, we are also saying that, okay, we are already experienced. We are doing it for quite a few years now. So please let us do this, because we know what is good for you, because you don't really understand what is happening right now. You don't have the full picture because you just entered the scene. So I think these are the two sides we have. Somewhere we need to find the middle ground, and that's why I also brought through this ambassador expert group which Giotto created. Okay, here is the introduction. We actually already have the introduction since, I think, November or something like this. So this is not something new. All the head ambassadors need to have it. So I would be fine if we say, okay, let's go on OpenGo and make a vote, but I'm not even sure that OpenGov can do this like on one-on-one. So the best way would be saying, okay, here are the head ambassadors. We open a Polkadot forum discussion. We want these people to be the head ambassadors. Here are the contributions. Okay, we go on OpenGov and make a vote, and then everyone votes. And then later we can figure out how to do the voting, because everything is turning to be like a political system now, and we don't have the capability for the voting. Like everyone is now using like Telegram polls and Discord questionnaires and forms. I think it needs to be something very simple, like a DApp, which checks, okay, if someone votes, how much dots this person has, and then he votes with conviction, but there is no dot reward involved. It's a decision which needs to be involved. But this, of course, needs to be developed. Like if we do the website and the profile, this also need to be developed, and someone will need to make it happen. Yeah, that's what I think. This could be also a way to do this process.
Buddy, can I comment on this quickly?
Yeah. Go.
Just wanted to say that this is, I think it's a good, maybe a second option, or like the way to go 6, to propose the leaders of the collective, right? That's what we want to start, to kickstart the collective as like a curator set, right? That we say that we create this proposal with the current head ambassadors. Maybe there's some more selection of which head ambassadors should join, but this is the core group that we propose, and this is what the community can vote on, or OpenGov, but not each head ambassador individually, or even new people that want to claim to be a head ambassador. This is actually where I have my arguments against. But if we conclude or say, hey, we create you can only vote on this group of head ambassadors, then I'm totally fine, because then we come even across more stronger. That's a good way to go, I think.
Yeah, I think it's a good way. But I would put some requirements there, like we only say the collective includes those people all of us agree on with, and definitely needs to have like the introduction. I'm not sure if everyone has, maybe everyone already posted the introduction publicly. I haven't seen everyone doing this, but we also don't have a space where we can see everyone together with the contributions. But yeah, I think that's a good way to move forward with.
I mean, we could also just, for this, if we want, I think Notion is just very easy to set up, right? We could have something by Monday if some people want to work on this now. A website takes more time. And we could also talk about creating a Twitter profile, because when, for example, you host a hackathon or I do an event and we tag this, we can directly get reposted. So it's much easier to repost ambassador activities and have everything in the page. So these are two things that we could set up by Monday and already start and publish something like the proposal next week.
I agree.
I like your idea. I don't recommend Notion because this is very messy. And yeah, we just suffered using Notion for a month in PBA, and everyone was crying in the end that please don't Notion. But yeah, if the majority of head ambassadors vote for Notion, sure, I will not vote for Notion for sure.
We can just do an X account first, and everyone prepares their content until whatever deadline we give, and then we post it with a picture on the Twitter space, on the Twitter account. That's also public space, right? And then we have time to implement everything in a website. So we only distribute a Twitter account where we introduce, hey, this is Six, our head ambassador, and so on. What has he done, right?
Yeah, I think that's a good way. Twitter, and then they can
her own post.
I like that. I like the Twitter idea. Yeah, cool.
Guys, may I add about priorities one point? Because we are talking about important things, but the most important two things, on my point of view now, it's the improvement us as an head ambassadors, as a collective. And the second thing is resources. If we have resources, we can do anything. if we have no resources, we can do some activities on our enthusiasm for a while, but the whales and their bounties at some point break us down. That's why I think we can now we need to act like in most easiest and most effective ways. We don't need to focus on some like an long-term and things that require a lot of resources. We need just get two things: first, improvement; second, resources, and then we can do whatever we want. But it's the next steps. That's why forum, as I started with, forum is open, forum is legitimate, because people don't go to every Twitter. They just want to see who are the guys who are asking for support. That's why we need something. It's not the case about the forum notion. I think it's both okay, but these two main points, improvement us and resources, is the key things that we need to concentrate now. On my point of view, what do you think?
I think that we should start on Monday, and in the end of the next week we should present our idea, no the new program, because we want to share and discuss this with the community. So I think that we can start opening the discussion on the forum and working on the Twitter space and the other social media that we choose. But it's very, very important starting to share and find more tool, not only Telegram chat. So NMA and a Twitter space, but next week have the first time, the first event to share our idea and receive idea or receive bad comments is not important, but demonstrate that we have a group, a team that has worked and what we want to do. Is my opinion. And at the end of this call, we should define Patricia do that, Zoe do that, Six do that. Define timing and task. We are building a big project, but any one of us define our role or our task. It is not possible. We are working on this for the 6 months, but we have that defined. We didn't define our task or role. This is my opinion on that. Six, you are the next.
Yeah, I think we really just need to take it simple. I agree with Alex. Go on the forum, post our introductions, and I think it's also a good idea to post it on Twitter, because if we do Zoe's idea with Twitter, we can really get more attention. And there are many people on the Polkadot ecosystem who use Twitter, so I would say, okay, please, all the head ambassadors, just make a Twitter post or just make a link to your contribution. You can post it wherever you want. You can post it in private bin, you can post it in Google Docs, whatever, but make sure that first of all it's there on the forums, and at least there is a post on OpenGov, because on Twitter. If it's also on Twitter, we can talk to Jay and we can talk to many people from the ecosystem to retweet and generate more positive attention to us. Like we have a very good network in the Polkadot ecosystem. Let's use it and let's show that we have good contribution here. I think David is the next one.
Yeah.
But just to mention, I'm totally aligned on your view, on the Alex view too, because I think the first thing is to verify that we are legitimate or not, and supported by the community. About tool to communicate with the community, the Discord, all the Discord channel are always available. So it's not a problem. I think we don't need a new tool at the moment if we have to communicate with the other ambassador, and if some people want to join us to exchange about our proposal. I'm absolutely right about Twitter. I think the best way would be to use our own account, because we have some follower, and if we decide to share maybe a common message with our contribution, something like this, pointing to the proposal, but first step, pushing the proposal, we are leaning and see if and evaluate our legitimacy before doing something else. I think so. And I have a question for you also, because I have the contact of Tom. Tom from Stake. It's
Yeah.
you know who
I understand.
we stopped. So I don't know if I have to contact him, ask him something specific or not at the moment. But it's okay. He could be open to have an exchange with us, but I have to be honest at the moment, no concrete proposal to bring on the table. So I don't know. It's a question. What do we have to do with Tom? It
In
was
my
an
opinion,
exchange in the Telegram this morning about the
Yeah.
proposal. Okay, you know what I mean.
Guys, we don't have resources. What we can offer? We can't offer anything because we are out of resources. I think that's the 2 points: improvement and resources, and then we can collaborate with others. And I want to ask, maybe someone know this ambassador collective that we all talking about. Is it already in update, or is it just need to be added to some update? I didn't understand yet because Joe didn't.
As far as I understand, it will be a root referendum. Correct me if anyone. This is what Joe said. So it will be, of course. It's not in any other update. So it can be voted against, but that's why we should have the collective very light. And again, we can now to go involve a bit with Giotto's approach. We could say, okay, we all do our public appearance, right? As David also said, maybe in our individual proposal accounts, however we want to. So we did this, and then we proposed a collective with us as headmasters as a collective, because we say we know that we have all the knowledge from the beginning instead of having open gov vote on new headmasters, right? So because then we showcase what we have done, and we have the power to come against. And then the proposal itself, right, or how the collective, like, because the only thing is to fix in the collective are the tiers. So Joe always said, once we need to agree if we want to have 10 tiers or 3 tiers or 5 tiers and how they are named, right? This is the only thing that fix. If we get rewarded, paid, and so on, these are all details that we should we should not even like maybe comment, or we should comment on, but not really define it yet, because this can be defined afterwards to have most of this criticism from the people away from selecting us as the collective. And this is, Alex, back to your point. I really like this. We should focus on what's the priority. The priority is that we get onboarded as a collective.
And what's the steps to be this collective be approved? And who we need to push or ask or provide info? Do we have some step-by-step agenda for the collective or not? Because Parity and the Web3 Foundation looks like stepping down. So we need to self-organize with this point. I feel that nobody will
Yeah,
push
and that
this
is
collective.
why here, not Elodie, Emily wanted to have us to push the collective on chain while she's there, so they can actually vote with their Web3 or parity bags. But I think they can still do this, right? We still have a lot of connection to push the people. From my understanding, we need to propose it, that this is the collective, and then need to convince the whales to vote on it. And I think Ezio has the most details what we need to do to get the collective on chain.
Well, guys, let me talk about this and evaluate the situation. Well, yeah, in the past, we wanted to push the collective, obviously, before of February, because we wanted to do it inside in parity, because yes, we wanted to have the support for the big holders, of course. But of course, but many things that, well, in my case personally, wasn't in my hands for make possible the, have all for get the collective on chain. We obviously couldn't have the possibility of have this on chain for both. Now we have the situation of someone else trying to make another proposal. So what we can do right now, we have two options. It's the same that I said in the last meet. We can work and accept the proposal that Giotto is doing and say, okay, we will work with this and we will go on your popular test. We will see if we can be head ambassadors again. It's an option. I'm not saying that this is the way that we will follow, just an option. Or the second option is to say, like, no, we don't want this collective that you are proposing, and we will work with our proposal, our collective, and we will do another proposal, okay? But of course, if we want to do this, we have to play politics, okay? Because obviously Giotto is a big player, and we need, if we want to do this option, we need big dog holders supporting the actual head ambassadors and the actual proposal for the collective. Being honest, I have, for example, in my case, I have to talk with another whales that I think that can support us or can support the idea. But of course, I think that first we need to understand what the actual head ambassadors want. Because I have seen that maybe some head ambassadors can say like, hey, I want to go with Giotto. Because I understand $10,000 is a lot of money and it's an attractive salary, but we have to work like a group, like a unique group. What we want to do? We want to go with Giotto proposal or we want to do our proposal?
I think it's more like we need to listen to everybody, including Giotto, and all the feedback, and not separate it and find the best way. Because if we go like, oh, this is Giotto and this is us and this is that, we basically start dividing everything into groups. So I would rather say, okay, listen to everyone. Let's take the good ideas, because Giotto actually has some good ideas. Not everything is good from his side, definitely not everything. But he has some good points. We can implement some of this and say, okay, this is what we can do for you. So we did our best, Giotto. Now you either vote for us or not. If you accept this middle ground, then we're happy to make the changes based on the feedback you and many others provided. But I think everyone needs to feel included, and it's very important word here, to be included in the whole thing. We don't want to leave anyone out of this program, right? Because we are here for them, for the ecosystem.
I
think
sorry, I say a little. I think that the Giotto proposal is not an ambassador program. Is another thing. Ambassador program is a structure. The Giotto proposal is not an ambassador program. Is a a CEO, a new company organization is not the same things. So I think that the profile that he are looking for is not an ambassador profile, is a different type of structure. I think that the name used by Giotto is wrong. I think that he used the ambassador situation to put his idea of new governance of the Polkadot future, because he don't speak about community, growing of the community, development, but he spoke about the new direction of the Polkadot, and this is not the goal of the Ad Ambassador program at now. But in the future, maybe yet, but maybe yes. But at the moment, it's not the goal of the ambassador program. This is my opinion. So I think we can define who won't participate. Define the temporary or stable task of our collective. If it is a timing collective, because there will be a new collective with a new program, or go on with our last idea. In my opinion, we should define a group as collective that will be, and define who are in. If you want to participate as collective, or as collective and an ambassador, or and starting to working on it today, tomorrow, but in the next week, sharing our idea, and accept the suggestion. I think so that there are many interesting suggestions on Giotto's chat. Many chat. It's difficult to follow all Giotto's chat, but there is many material to work on and go ahead with our construction with the community. Sorry, I am so long. Sorry, 6.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea to stay with the idea of the collective, and the improvements stay as a group, of course, and push everything forward based on the feedback, and that's it. I think now we have like the next steps with the forums and the profile and the Twitter post. Regarding resources, I think that's a very big question here, because so far this was and still is a voluntary work which we do here. We are not getting paid, and once salary is introduced, it will make changes. So I'm not very positive we should be paid salaries. Maybe it's better to say that we stay volunteer. At the same time, if we don't have the salary, we have less resources. So maybe it would make sense to say, okay, ambassadors get a minimum amount, but this amount needs to be spent on ambassador activities, traveling to conferences, being a speaker, meetups, organizing life around Polkadot. I think that could be one way where salary makes sense. So it's still not like a salary which you take for yourself, but you spend this amount and money on making Polkadot grow. And of course, it's good for you because you can travel, you can build your network, and it's really good and very, very beneficial for the ambassador herself or himself. But not like, okay, here is 10K and do whatever you want with it. I think that's maybe not the best way to do. I don't know who's next.
Ezio can go first.
Yes, I want to first get an answer for the question that you make and the chat, Zoe, that you ask, how should we get the dots funded? Oh, well, In the past, there was the option to apply for support for the Web3 Foundation, but we are not in this position right now. Maybe we can ask. We have a meet with the Web3 Foundation the next week. Maybe I can ask for this again and evaluate the situation. Well, about the thing that Six is saying, I think that is a good position. I mean, big salaries is not good for the community, because obviously if you pay 10,000 to head ambassadors, many other ambassadors will be very upset for the situation. I think that the option that Giotto himself said about paid for bounties is a very good option. I think that if we push this solution of have the ambassador program like a voluntary program, but that we will need more bounties for cover more things or more actions in the ambassador program, I think that we will be more clear and we will have a better option of just pay 10,000 to 21 person per month. That is a lot of money, in my opinion. So yes, we need to work on a solution, an idea, because obviously if we want to work between the idea that Giotto is saying and our idea, we have to talk with him and explain the situation, because obviously we want to merge or we want to do some politics. I mean, we have to work just not in our position. We have to work thinking in that we are in a very variable ecosystem. So we need to obviously to work with many people. Albert is asking that if we ask to use governance or dot, well, this is an option. Remember that we have the problem that is decentralized voice. If we work like a collective, and we work like an ambassador program, we can ask for participate in this program. But it's an option, you know, because obviously many people will postulate, so we need to compete again.
Guys, why?
I just
David, this is the next.
Oh.
David.
Oh, okay, sorry. No, I have put some comments within the chat because I read all the information about what is required to push to get a root call. It's a lot of dots. I knew that, to be honest. I'm not surprised. And I was checking also the proposal made by Tom from Stake Plus, sorry, which is tagged with decentralized future program and the collective too. Maybe we could push a first proposal directly addressed to the decentralized future program to get first fund needed to organize our own program just after to have our first steps, I would say, around our own program. It would be public, and as David Awick, if I remember well his name, answered, decentralized future is also was also deployed and created to support ambassador program. That's why we discovered a proposal that seems to be not activated and not followed by the first issuer. But maybe we could do a new one based on our future collective proposal, something like this, giving us so the opportunity to get the first that we would need to begin to work concretely. I don't know, but decentralized future is a good program.
So it's your turn.
Yeah, sorry, I just missed I think I personally would like to see this as a collective, to really as the on-chain collective to use this technology, same as the fellowship, right? If we would go as a decentralized future, we could use decentralized futures for maybe funding, but not to run this program with an entity or something. So, and the only funding that we would need to get this collective on chain are the 1 million dot, where I think it's also, if we have the network that Ezio said, that he could talk to Web3 Foundation to support us to 15 or 22 head ambassadors that we select to get the collective on chain. We also show that we have the supporters, because not everyone, maybe Giotto can of course create this collective as root proposal, but not everyone else, right? So I think we should use these connections that we have to show that we can become a collective and use the great technology that Polkadot provides. If we agree to do this, and then again, how we want to adjust this, I also like 6 arguments to say, okay, we don't want to completely be against Giotto, but we want to include his feedback. And Ezio, before you joined, I also made my standpoint very clear that we should use our power that we have as a group, as ambassadors, and not now let us dictated by other people or by other community members that just have big bags, right? Because I feel that's not fair, and a lot of people don't understand what we went through. But I see that the proposal overall still has a lot of maybe adjustments. So 6, maybe you can give some light on this. I guess when we want to push the collective, we need to attach the proposal, right? The one is like the frame, which is the collective, and then it's the proposal, how the collective should be run. I guess that we want, what I hear right now, that there's a lot of things that we need to adjust. Correct, like implement maybe some Giotto feedback and the reward structure and so on. But if we need to adjust the proposal more from than what it is now, I suggest to keep it very light and to say these are things that we roll out in phase 2 that can be adjusted, that can be discussed with more ambassadors.
Yeah, thank you. From technical point of view, the collective is not very complicated in the end. I think that's not where we need the adjustments. Maybe with the tiers, we can rethink the tiers if we want or not, or we can just leave it there as it is, and then we figure out how we use it on the long run. I think how this whole thing started with Giotto was because of the salary and the proposal we brought together. And then that's where we need to create the adjustments. And now we have a new version of this proposal on how we manage the ambassador program and what is the ambassador program 2.0. I think this is where we need to be like very transparent and include everyone's feedback who gives us actually useful feedback. But I think it's mostly about the proposal itself and the way, the logic we want to work. So we need to define some processes more transparently and better than before. Because my impression was that when we created the manifesto, which is also the proposal, the same thing we are talking about, I think we didn't focus so much on what we are actually doing and what processes we have, how ambassadors proceed with their task and what we are doing, and how does this actually help the ecosystem. We said, okay, we organize this and that, and here are the requirements to step up on the different levels. But then what is the return for the ecosystem? How does it help Polkadot? How does it bring on new dot holders? How does it bring in new businesses, implementation, adoption, and so on? I think if we are more clear on this, then people will be more happy about the proposal and the manifesto itself.
Alberto?
Yeah. In addition, as Six said, not only Giotto is unhappy with the program. We have many ambassadors who they are not happy, and we need to try to fix these things because it's not only Giotto. A lot of people said, "Hey, be ambassador is nothing for us because we don't have any support. We don't have enough tools. We have seems as we have sticks on our track, and yeah, we need to fix it, and that's the reason because I want to understand after all this process what we want to do, because we need to fix a lot of things, not only salaries. We need to remove a lot of ambassadors, a lot of senior ambassadors or head ambassadors who they are doing anything for the ecosystem.
I agree, but I like that you think ahead and what we want to do. But honestly, I think that's secondary. First of all, and this sounds maybe a bit selfish, we have to protect us, right? We have to protect us as head ambassadors, that we are, again, not, I don't think that any of us will be like declined as head ambassador because we know what we have done. But I feel like we get a bit like pushed away to be the head ambassadors. And that's what I don't like from like Giotto's approach right now. So we should lead this conversation and present ourselves as the head ambassadors, and then we can discuss how we want to improve the program. And maybe by then even Ezio's and AJ's proposal gets funded by Web3 Foundation, and they can help us and so on. So I would not get like now say, oh, there's so much that we have to do, and how are we going to do this? We need to think step by step, prioritize, as Alex also said, and really think a bit selfish right now that we know and trust in our work, that we can also lead this for some months until other people can help us, and then we decentralize it, right? But if we decentralize it too early right now, this is where I think we should take the move on. What do you think?
Well, I agree with you, but the thing is that we don't have, we have many head ambassadors who, I don't know, at least the ambassadors they told me, they don't deserve to be head ambassadors. And we need to choose who are the good one of us, because we are the elites, we are the as a project manager or something like that with for them to help them to do different things. And of course this is a decentralization program, but they need a good head ambassadors. This is my point.
Yeah, but as I understand, Giotto's proposal will accept everyone to submit to be a head ambassador, and that's not what's fair. I think it's fair to us to discuss, okay, what head ambassadors are very active or not really a head ambassador, but even these head ambassadors have a reason why they are not that active anymore, and the reason why they became head ambassador, right? They maybe became a head ambassador back then when Hutch and Dan were still there. And then nothing has happened. And since then, they're also not really active anymore. So I think it's fair to re-filter these head ambassadors, but I'm also on the side of maybe some people that you maybe would kick out, where I say, hey, they do have a reason why there is no head ambassador activity, because things change. And I have fought for the program before we made all these changes. And even my activity has gone down lately because of these reasons, right? So, this is my opinion on this.
Guys, I have a very simple question. Will we push up the ambassador collective or not? Let's decide, because I think it's a key point. If we are not approving this collective, it's one way. If we approve it and we act as an ambassador, approved head ambassadors, that's another way. Let's decide it. Very simple question. And let's decide it now, because without this decision, we are talking about not necessary thing. The thing we are not can handle now, because we are not approved now. Let's go from the main point to less important, I think.
Six, is your turn.
Yeah, thank you. I'm not sure if I heard everything Alex just said, but let me add some ideas for the collective and who is active, who is not active. So I think if we really, really want to be fair with everyone, we say, okay, all the people who are active in this period, and especially now, this is, I think, a critical period for the ambassador period. Let's do it together. Say, okay, we are the active ambassadors, the active head ambassadors. we create the collective. Everyone else who is inactive, they do not lose the status right now. And when they want to be active again, when they want to start contributing, we will just welcome them back and say, okay, thanks for coming back. It's really good that you are contributing again. But if someone is inactive, then just that's these people say, okay, they are inactive, but they are still good people who contributed in the past. They are not active now. They can be active later, and they can come back because they have the skills, they contributed, so they don't lose like everything. They are just like flagged or we indicate, it's better to say it's indicated that the person is not active right now.
I can do a recap too, because we have spoke very much and with more content. To recap, we want to create the collective, right? And with not all the ad ambassador, only the actual active ad ambassador. And at this point, we define the collective in 2-3 hours, if because we have no time to think and rethinking and we speak about that. So I think in 2 hours, at the end of this day, we define the actual collective. So tomorrow we can push on the forum our plans. So create the discussion on the forum with our presentation as collective, and if you want as ad ambassador, and the other ad ambassador can push your idea, your scheda, or what they want, and meanwhile create the address or understand how we can create the route referenda for push on chain our collective. I understand right? This is our position at the moment.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah. Maybe I would add something. I would push a last message on our Discord channel, the Ad Ambassador channel. I mean, just to tell people that it's the last call to become part of this collective pushing. Do you want to be part of it or not?
Yeah.
You have 24 hours to react and join our Telegram group, and maybe do the same on Telegram. Who wants to support the deployment of the request of the collective, deposit of the collective, as you prefer? You have 24 hours to react. After that, we will push with the group, which is, I would say, organized around it, and that want to support it as a first level for the first step. And as Six mentioned, it will be possible to include some people later, but just ask last time, 24 hours, not more, till tomorrow at 5 something, like this set, 5 p.m. set, not more. And after that, okay, go for the collective, because we will turn around and around and around, and it's time to
I agree.
move forward.
After the call, it's my plan share our idea, like as I done for the last call, and tomorrow morning the agenda and the meeting notes and the recording, as I said, as I done for the last call. I want to continue to do that for the people that can join on the on the call, and I try to post the same thing on the Discord channel and on the Telegram channel for the same reason. So if you agree, I'll do this recap, this poll in the Telegram chat and in the Discord chat, defining that there is no time to think over of this. but over this point, we can just define our next task. I didn't modify the manifesto because in reading the polls, not only there is not a definition of the change, so I'm waiting for that. Now it's more clear what we want to do, and so I can do the changes on the manifesto. So about the forum, and this we can define who create the post on the forum, who create our profile on Twitter, so we can share this info on Twitter too, and so on. I want to close this call, define who do what, and the time on do that. This is my position. I do that. I seem a teacher. You do that, but it's not time to to use to do in another way. I think that's I don't know 6. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm happy to move forward with the forum post. I'm happy to start the discussion and share it with all the head ambassadors on Discord and Telegram groups, and ask everyone to post their introduction and create a small optional template so everyone can see what they can post and give some examples.
So 6.
Can you share the next steps, Patti, on the agenda, or scroll
Okay,
down
yeah,
so we see what you're
I'm
writing
trying
for the
to
next
write.
steps?
Yeah.
Okay, you write it somewhere else. No worries.
Okay, a moment. I think to write. I'm writing during the call, and so after the call, I'll share all our idea or our next step for an task. This is my idea. It's not clear. Sorry.
No, it's clear, but it's just easy for everyone to see this right now, so we don't forget. But if
I lost
the words.
I lose the connection for some seconds, so I don't know what you say.
Yeah, sometimes you lagging, sorry.
Yeah, it's my sorry. It's fine. Go ahead, take the next steps. I just said it's easier sometimes when you share the screen and we see the next step, so everyone sees it visually also.
Okay.
But,
I write in the agenda now. A moment. So okay.
Just a question for 6. Do we need a multi-sig address now? Right now? 6. I'm not sure.
No, we don't.
No, okay. Just a forum. It's just about the forum now.
Yeah, no. On the forum, we can I can just post it with my user. I have my forum user. And
yeah, for sure. But we don't have to mention for now a multi-sig address. Just to mention it will be managed by one, but not to create it.
No multi-sig needed. No.
Okay. Great.
Just optionally your on-chain identity. So if you set your on-chain identity with your Polkadot address, then you can add it to your introduction.
Yeah, already do. It's already done. Sorry, but what would be preferable ways to share or contribution to the Polkadot ecosystem till now? I have created a Google Doc. I could make it better, but do you have some advice about it? Something better to share it? That would be, I would say, more appreciated by the community, or just push or contribution under the collective proposal?
I think the best way to do it with some bullet points and the timeline, like similarly what I shared on the forums and also now on Telegram. But I will make it a template. So if you want to modify yours, I haven't read yours yet. I just had a quick look. I think it's fine, but we can just follow one template together. Like, okay, your name, your Polkadot address with the on-chain identity, and your contributions, bullet points. I joined, I don't know, 2020, and I started this and this and this and that bullet point, end of the story. what I'm working on right now, what are my ambassador tasks, end of the story. So just something very simple and straightforward.
And to this, I think the more the better, David, right? So if we share and retweet it through our shared ambassador account, then we can post this link on the forum, we can post this link on podcast assembly, we can post this link in element channels, just everywhere, right?
Yeah.
So I think we just need to distribute it wherever we can.
Okay.
I wrote the next step and some definition of who if you agree or not agree, let me know. Zoe, okay, I muted.
What's the post on forum exactly? Like individual post or a
No, I think the post, the head ambassador post for the collective to start the discussion, our next step, to share our next step with the community, because we have discussion very, very, very much, but the community unknown about that. 6, sorry.
Yeah, so there are two ways on the forum. We either say, okay, this is the thread. So every head ambassador posts his own contribution to the thread. So it's one post. Or the other way is that I list all the head ambassadors in the original post of the thread and make a link to the contribution. I'm fine with both. I think it's better to discuss now to make it straightforward. Which one is better? Maybe it's better to actually have a list. So list the ambassadors with the names and the link to the contribution. So it can be a Google Doc like David created, or a paste, or whatever, a Twitter post.
Yeah, I think that it's good to have a link and not a post for every ambassador. I agree. But it's more important to create a template. It is more important, in my opinion, create a template to share our achievement, because this is a point to understand that we are a team and we are working together and not as a single person. Sorry. Thank you, Zoe, for the for writing.
To be sure to understand it concretely, it would mean that we will bring together all our contribution in one document, in one template, if you prefer. But yeah, I think maybe it could be better if it's the idea, because it would mean everyone's would share all the contribution of every people. That gives to the people, as a result, we I would say we communicate with the community as one group, supporting all the contributors. That's the idea. Yes.
Yeah, it might not be the most elegant solution, but what we did during the PBA Blockchain Academy in Hong Kong for the founders track is that we had like PPT slide kind of profile page, and all of us who were there, 40 people from the founders track, each of us had like a profile page. It's super simple to edit and super simple to add to it. I could create the same thing which we had in the PBA. Like I can copy it. It's open source. That can give us a start. So all of us can edit our own profile, and it can include the template on the first page. You just copy the template and fill with your data. So if everyone is okay with this, I can share a link like this. It will be a Google document.
Yeah, perfect. I'll share our link and all stuff in the our chats, Telegram, and so on. We have any other task to add?
just not from mine, but maybe the timelines. So if we say, okay, we want to maybe I guess collective by today, as we said, and if we say, okay, when do we want to put the collective? I think it's all dependent actually on ESIO's support. If we get the funding, then we can decide when we can put it, when we can put it on chain, right? So ESIO, we wait for you there, and if you have a date, we should also have the manifesto ready. I think these are the two critical things where we have to put time in.
I think that I create the post on our chat to define the collective in some minutes. So tomorrow morning, define the collective. And I think that for tomorrow is this possible. But okay, I'd like to post on the forum the first post to open the discussion. Meanwhile, we can start to create our template and have this for finish for on Monday, Sunday, as you want. Maybe our template for Monday, in my opinion. For the manifesto, I can work on it in the next day, but if you don't know, I don't know what are your timing. This is my tip. For the other task, only the other people can speak about that.
Just a question. I suppose we need the manifesto and the Ancient Collective proposal because they are linked together. So we need it updated and ready to push a proposal. As promised, I will look at it today in the evening. But globally, I would say I agree with it. It's about some question, sometimes some detail, sometimes I think it's too much complicated maybe, but maybe it's not a good time to discuss it again. So, but okay, I will read it and work on it too this evening. And I don't know if we have to connect again, if there are some comments that would request a quick meeting to align our vision on the new version, definitive V1. But I would say we would try to make it ready for tomorrow evening, Monday morning at last. No,
Okay.
what do you think?
Yep.
It become urgent to have this first version of the.
I think the main thing is in the manifesto, as I understand, is that we really should eliminate the monthly payment or include it. Like this is something we not exclude, but we can say we could make the suggestion that Six proposed, say, okay, we ask for a monthly payment, but this will be reused for specific things, but we would only ask for this monthly payment also in a later stage. So the collective as of now should be onboarded with the reward structure. But got the most criticism from the community. So the manifesto should be focused on rewritten or revised based on this thing, because the tiers we all agreed on already, right? So when we say maybe we three, David, Patty, and I, we can give some ideas, have another call on Monday, and then the goal is to have this shared with everyone by Wednesday. And Ezio, I don't know if what do you think? By when do you can have a feedback from Web3 Foundation?
Well, like I said, we have a meet between Monday and Tuesday the next week.
Okay.
We hope to to explain the situation, okay? Because obviously we need a very high number of dots for this. Like I put in the chat, the root track is 100,000 dots for do a proposal with this. It's a lot of dots. I'm thinking, I don't know, maybe if we put 10,000 each of one, we can maybe be also, but I don't know if we together have this amount. So obviously we need you as the support. And yes, like I've already said, the foundation is not a fast company. Obviously, I need to ask. The good point is that we are not in zero. I mean, this is not like this won't be the first step in this, because obviously the situation is knowledge for the Web3 Foundation. But again, I will have a meet. Well, we, AJ, Patricia, Hodge, and me will have a meet the next week with the Web3 Foundation. We will explain the situation for evaluate the possibility of have the funds.
Okay. So maybe if everything goes fine, right, we get support from Obsidian and we have the manifesto revised, we could have, we could start the voting, the collective voting, put it on chain on Thursday, maybe. But at least in the next week that we could make the moves, right? Nothing really holds. I mean, it should be our goals also to move as fast as the other ways as well. Okay.
Okay, let me know the hour that is better for you, so I can plan the 2 calls for the manifesto and for the total. Let me know when.
Just one thing, Pat, please update the document. It's 100K of dot, not 10,000. You wrote like 10,000.
Yeah, I wasn't sure. How many is it now?
100,000.
What? Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay. I have another topics on my side, so I think that we can close the call.
Do we just want to set the like David, Patty, and I? We can speak on Monday for the manifesto if you want.
Oh, for me, perfect. For me, it's okay.
3 p.m.
Yeah, let me check this. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Just that we set the time now. Everyone else that wants to jump on, and then yeah.
For me, I have no other call on that day. Let me check, but I'm free. So for me, it's the same.
I'm free after 3:30 p.m. 3:30 p.m. on Monday.
After 3 p.m. or at 3 p.m.
After 3:30. 3:30.
Then let's do 3:30. Yeah.
Yeah, because I have a call at 2:30 and it will be for 1 hour, and after that it's okay.
Then 4 p.m. How does this sound?
4 p.m. is good, yeah.
Cool.
Okay.
Cool.
Okay. I'll share the Monday call on everyone, or only for three of us.
I think everyone that wants to join, yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah. I'm not 100% sure. I could do maybe 3, but add me and I will try.
Okay. I'd like the Valentine edition of our call. Okay.
This was a great call. Thank you, everyone. Very productive, and I like that we all are very, very we are in agreement how we want to move this forward. I like this.
Have a nice weekend. I'm stopping the recording now.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you very much, guys. Bye-bye.
Thank you, and see you on Monday.
Bye.
At last. Bye.